get started here. My name is Maritza Baida, and I'm one of the academic advisors at the Cal State San Marcos Temecula Campus. Welcome everybody to our information session, group advising session about our Kinesiology Bachelor of Science program in Temecula. We are going to cover a lot today, and there will be a chance for you to ask questions either in the chat function of the panel. There's like a little bar down below. I would say it's the very bottom. You'll see it says chat, or if there's an area where it says a question mark, I can certainly answer those questions as well. So we'll get started right now. So many people wonder about like what the name kinesiology, what does it stand for? It really stands for the study of human movement, and it's an interdisciplinary a major because you're really combining several things. You're combining biology, chemistry, physics, psychology, sociology, health, nutrition, and education. So it's all encompassing, all in the study of the human body and all the various functions and ways that it impacts. So there are many career options you can go with kinesiology. You can go into the study of exercise physiology, become a fitness instructor, cardiopulmonary rehabilitation, personal trainer, corporate fitness, wellness coaching, clinical health educator, strength and conditioning coaching, physical or occupational therapy, nursing, physical education, athletic training, public health, our dietetics, sports nutrition, but it can go beyond that too as well, because I had been the advisor for a while for our kinesiology students, and many of who I've advised, many were going into trying to get into physical therapy or occupational therapy or nursing or even PA. They want to go into PA school or even go to medicine, become a doctor. And this lends a great like basis of knowledge, this major, to go into many of the health professions. So what we're going to cover today is just where this program lives, you know, where, like, the big picture, where does it sit in the big scheme or the big vision of Cal State San Marcos and extended learning, and then Temecula campus. And then we'll go over the structure, the admissions criteria, the cost and application process for our program, which is a health science option. And I'll explain more about that in the presentation. Then we also have financial aid and scholarships that we'll cover about, you know, how to use that, because we do have financial aid accessibility and lots of ways to get it funded. So talking about the big picture, where does this program live? It really lives in the Department of Extended Learning. And the Extended Learning Department works with all the colleges in the university. So kinesiology actually is in the College of Education, Health and Human Services. So Extended Learning and the College of Education made it possible so that they can have this kinesiology program in Temecula. And in extended learning, why it's there is because extension programs, even there are several of them, they have different names at all the different Cal State system schools, and there are 23 of them. Many of them have an extension department, and what they do offer is that they're trying to address areas of impaction on their campuses, main campus. So for San Marcos, kinesiology, very, very hard to get into because it's impacted, and it's also impacted in Southern California. So the Extended Learning Department has offered a way for students to still get into the program, but just not on main campus. You can take it in Temecula. Extended Learning also works at, looking at the local needs of the community. So look where we're at. We're in the Temecula area, and you know how the commute is on the I-15 when in the morning and in the afternoon to get to school. If you're thinking San Marcos, you know how hard the traffic is to get through. So having accessibility to a program, popular program, your commute time is cut in half, or if not more than that, significantly. And then you're also saving time and you're also saving money because you're not having to pay for a parking permit because it is free on our campus. On main campus, you have to pay $640 a year to get a parking permit for the year, and you're not even guaranteed a good parking space. But here on our campus, it's free. So you're saving money on that, but the biggest piece is gasoline prices. So gas, you're not having to pay as much gas to go all the way to San Marcos. You are just going to Temecula. We are also, because we're in the extended learning, all our programs are self-support. That means the funding comes from the cost that the student brings in to help deliver the program. So we don't get state funds, but that is actually a good thing because with the state of California, there are several budget cuts. So we are not affected by budget cuts because the program operates on a different cost system. So I will explain more about what it is. It's a per unit cost to run this program, but with that, it has a lot of benefits. And it's not going to break the bank. It's a little bit more, but it's not going to break the bank because really, when you're looking at a bachelor's degree, you want to get in and get out and start working in the workforce, right? So I'm going to explain a little bit more about that. So extended learning on the Temecula campus, we have two campuses. Down below, you're going to see the one on the left, that's the Margarita campus, and the one on the right is what we call the center. And the center is an acronym that stands for Temecula Higher Education Center, or THEC, the center, all mean the same thing. If all of our Kines students go to the Margarita campus, we have a state-of-the-art kinesiology lab, and so you're taking so everything is there. And what's really nice is that our ABSN students who go to Temecula, they're interacting, they're on the walking in the same hallways, they're going within the Margarita campus. So for those of you who are thinking after Bachelor of Science in Kinesiology you want to go into nursing, that's a great way to, you can do that, because you have already a lot of the requirements for ABSN. But if that's your route, you can talk to me personally. I can explain all of that. But this kinesiology program is you're really on one campus and not at the center. So our program, which is different from the one on main campus, its biggest difference is that we operate in a cohort format. So what a cohort means, it's like we treat it like grad school. A lot of grad schools have a cohort format, which is good because then you're getting used to how grad school feels like. Cohort means that you're taking the classes together, achieving the same degree. And then you're accepted at the same time, you take the classes together, and you graduate together. And there's a big benefit for that. There's a lot of research in higher education that says that if students go through a learning community, like a cohort format, and they take the classes together, they graduate together, one, they're sharing that learning experience. Two, they're getting skills and knowledge that work in a group setting. You're forming really strong peer relationships to work and study together, work on projects together. That is good. That's a good skill to have for grad school, by the way, to be able to work in groups. You're also developing life and leadership skills. You're getting a really good support system academically while you're in the program. It's like you have an academic family. Everybody who started with you, they're your lifelong friends, really, because you're going to be helping each other to get through the program. And then you're also creating professional networks even after graduation. Many of our cohorts stay so bonded and they're so close that they are still together talking to each other even after the program's over, and they're helping each other out, letting people know, hey, there's a job over here, They're looking for somebody, and they'll go straight to their cohort to tell them where, where the jobs are. So that's a good benefit overall. And the cohort format is it's got, there are benefits, but there's also, things to keep in mind too. It's, there's a lot of demand on you academically, because we're giving you your ed plan. You don't even have to worry about figuring out what you have to take, because we figured that out for you, and we just give you the ed plan already set. And so we operate a little differently from the typical student on main campus, where they're kind of having to figure that out on their own with an advisor. Here, we just say, this is your plan for the whole time you're here, and I'll explain that in the next slides. A little bit more about our program. We are regionally accredited. Regional accreditation is really important, especially if you're going to go to graduate school. They will probably ask, is your bachelor's degree where you came from regionally accredited? You can say yes, all the Cal States are WASC accredited. Temecula is part of Cal State San Marcos. It's WASC accredited. So a little bit more about the health science option, because we know that in San Marcos they have several other concentrations, and I know many of them are, they kind of they're like they interlock, they connect. Ours is really a focus on, like, positive personal behavior changes that make an impact on the health of individuals and their communities. So you're looking at a lens through the public health lens, through the health and fitness lens, how to promote wellness, doing health research, and also community health advocacy and programming. Here's an example. We had a student who graduated in cohort 9, and he works for a program that's called Stoked. It has to do with working with disabled folks who want to learn how to surf out in Oceanside. And so that is a specific population. They're trying to promote health and fitness through surfing. And he is using that to now move on to get a master's in public health. And he's been able to bring a lot of his peers into volunteering with this surf clinic for disabled folks. Graduates are well prepared to pursue graduate programs in public health, nursing, kinesiology, and health science. Now, if you're looking at, like physical therapy, occupational therapy, PA school, pre-med, this definitely is a good avenue. And I do believe in thinking, begin with the end in mind. If that is your goal, then go to those DPT schools, like University of St. Augustine, San Diego State. Loma Linda has a DPT program. That's a doctorate in physical therapy program. If you look at their requirements, they're not looking for any kind of concentration. All they want is that you have a degree and you have so many years of science, so many years of math, so many years of anatomy and physiology. So you want to work backwards, because while we do have a health science option, we don't want anyone thinking, oh, I didn't take the right option to get into PA school or PT school or OT school. It doesn't apply, really. If you look at the programs themselves, the doctorate programs, they're not asking you for concentration. So health science, I've seen students come out of our programs in Temecula and apply for occupational therapy. We have one student who went all the way through, finished their degree, and then they took physics afterwards, at a community college, because then you need like maybe a year or semester of physics for the Loma Linda University DPT program. And she got in, she got her degree, and now she is a traveling physical therapist, and she is a graduate of the Temecula program. So if there are any stigmas about like, oh, I didn't take the right concentration, no, they don't even have that lens at Loma Linda or St. Augustine. They're looking at, do you have a degree and do you have these requirements? So keep that in mind. We have a lot of students going into masters in public health. because they're really interested in a certain area of health awareness, whether it's diabetes or obesity, or trying to control obesity. It could be cancer survivors. It could be several different things. So so when you're thinking about our program, don't let it focus just on, oh, I can only do this with health science option, because that's not necessarily true. Our program structure is a full-time daytime program. It's not anything online. I think maybe in your summer classes you will have something online, 1 or 2 classes, but other than that, everything is in person. It is intense. So with that intensity, that means that with the 35 students that we take in the cohort, your instructors really get to know you. While you get your guaranteed seat in every class and you stay with the same peers, the one caveat to that is that you're not invisible anymore. That means your faculty know when you come in late, your faculty know when you leave early, and your faculty know when you're not there. So there's more of a microscope on you. Like, what's your behavior in the classroom? Like, do you come in? Are you ready to go? Are you late? Those things can impact your grade. So keep that in mind. The cohort format is a lot like grad school. They do watch, but it's also a good thing because you will get strong letters of recommendation from that. Our program is a 5-semester program, so you're going 4 semesters and 1 summer. It's a fall start, so your ed plan is going to go fall, spring, summer, fall, spring, and then you graduate. You're guaranteed your seat in every class. That means you don't have to worry about self-registration. A lot of our students who get admitted will probably get, notifications in their student portal saying, oh, you got to go and register. You have a deadline. Those notifications don't apply to you. We take care of emailing you your CRN numbers for your classes, and no one can take your seat. Not even stateside students. That means anyone from main campus, they can never take your seat. They're not open to other students. They're just for you, which is really nice. You have to stay and get a C and succeed in classes like a C or higher to stay in the program. We only have a fall start. We don't have a spring start. So when we're still taking applications, we have actually moved the application deadline to May 8th now. So you still have lots of time to get that in. Another benefit is that you're taking the classes with the same faculty. That's huge. And given how big the campus is right now on main campus, to have a chance to just really be focused with 35 students at max in your classes, you are really going to know your faculty and they're going to really get to know you. That's a very good benefit. So our program, when you think about all those 5 semesters, it's really a 2-year program. So within the content of what you're going to take with us, it's going to include some pre-kines core courses. It's going to have certain courses that are for the health science option, and then it's going to have very specific kines upper division general education courses. These are not the lower division. These are not classes that you can transfer in from a community college. These are very, very specific to our program. And so you will take that. These classes are typically taken within your plan for the summer. Here's what a typical day looks like for our kines students. You're going pretty much like Monday through Thursday, and you're going all day. It depends on your labs. So you can go Monday, you could start as early as 9 in the morning, even 8, and then you could go all the way to 4 or 5. It all depends on your schedule. This is just a typical day. This is one example. Sometimes you may have, like on a Monday, you'll go for a few hours, like from 9 to 1. And then there are other days that you'll go maybe later in the afternoon, all the way to the late afternoon, but not anywhere after 5 or 6. If that's where the faculty for chem or anything that you have a lab, you may have a late lab. It all depends. But for the most part, you are a day student. There are no evening classes. The sequence benefit, we map it out for you, so you don't have to figure out what you got to take. We give it to you. We tell you this is what you're taking. Here are your classes, and go self-register right now. So that's how it works. All your requirements for graduation are going to be met in those 5 semesters. We have strategically put that plan together so you meet everything you need on the upper division, all the 300, 400 level kines classes. You get those all done with us. And we just email you every semester. Here's just before you start. And it's typically probably a month before you start, you'll get an email saying, hey, it's time for you to register for classes. Here are your CRN numbers. Register. Here's how to do it. And you do it on your portal. And you got your seat guaranteed. So that means that, say, for instance, you are in our program. You registered yourself. You missed the deadline to pay. You call up your advisor. Rosalinda, I forgot to pay. I got dropped for non-payment. She'll let you know what the CRN number is. You re-add yourself in there, and they'll give you another deadline that you have to pay for at this time. So that's how the guaranteed seat works. No one can take it. No one can take your seat. Capstone internship. There is one class at the very last semester that you're with us in the spring, and it's a 90-hour commitment to a place where you're going to work in an area of that's listed below, whether it's public health, rehabilitation, sports training, personal training, adaptive PE, wellness programming, health nutrition ed, physical therapy, coaching, chiropractic, prosthetics, recreation programming. Before you take the Kines 495, you will get some more information beforehand to get the process started to set up your internship. So you'll have more information that comes to you before you start that spring semester. Don't worry, anything that you wanted to do, you want to enter the certain field, and maybe you have a connection to somebody you want to work with your faculty of the class, the capstone class, to make that happen. They will give you the guidelines on how to set up that internship. The earlier you set up that internship, the faster those 90 hours goes on that semester. So what are we looking for this program? I know that many have been concerned, like when the San Marcos campus requirements say you have to have all the pre-kines classes done, like the prerequisites. In our program, we're looking for 5 things. We're looking for 60 to 70 transferable units, at minimum 60 transferable units, a minimum of a 2.0 GPA. And of course, you have to complete the Golden 4. Now, the Golden 4 is listed down below. And these are codes for the CSU system schools, and they represent a certain area that's a basic GE skill. It's a lower division GE skill. First one is oral communication. If you've taken something similar to public speaking, then you've met that. If you've taken an area 2, a written communication, you've probably taken maybe a freshman composition, English composition, college level class. That would have met it. Also, an AP English with a score of 3 or higher also helps to fulfill the written communication. So AP English. A3, critical thinking. There are many classes at the community college that fulfill the critical thinking requirement. And I can help you find those if you haven't done that yet, because it comes in different, there are many classes that can fulfill it. The one that is by far no questions asked, Introduction to Logic, definitely works, but there are other classes at the community college that are considered A3 approved, and so I'll show you how to navigate on how to find those in a little bit. Your B4 is your college level math. If you can, try to get a stats class as the math class. And the reason why is because you're going to need that stats prerequisite for the research class that you'll take. So it's best to have that research stats class. It's really more of a standalone math class. And if you work with your community college counselors to find that stats class, it's probably under the B4 category of a listing of classes. Just look for the stats under B4, and I can help you find that too. And that's what we're looking for. And then also the biology 104. Now, biology 104 on some campuses, community colleges, they may have the equivalent, others may not. So one that's not going to be questioned at all is the microbiology. Microbiology, if you have that, then you've fulfilled the Bio 104. For us, Bio 104 is called General Biology, the human emphasis. Not to be confused with human anatomy and physiology. That's totally different. This is a very specific course. Some of the community colleges have the equivalent, some don't. But we will work with you and let you know where you can take it, how you can take it. Maybe we can look at a course that you might have taken that looks similar. We'll work with you on that. And really, that's what we're looking for. On other kinesiology programs, I know that they ask for anatomy and physiology. They ask for chemistry. If you don't have that, that's okay. We have actually embedded those classes into your ed plan with us. So you can actually take it with us, because we know sometimes those classes are kind of hard to get into. You're on a wait list, you have to wait, and you're not even guaranteed if you can get in at a community college. So that's why we offer it. But if you can take it at a community college, great, do it. Do it, and you save some money, of course. All right. Other classes that you should be taking at the community college to, accumulate those 60 units are the areas B through E. So in the other slide, you have the area A down below. Here's B through E. So area B, physical and life sciences with labs. If you've already started taking anatomy and physiology and they meet the B2 requirement, then you've got that done. And then if you take chemistry, and there's this, I believe there's this very specific chemistry. It's an integrated chemistry, has a little bit of organic, inorganic, and a teeny bit of biochem. Sometimes the equivalents are listed on the assist.org website, but that can cover the B1 requirement if you take that chem class. Area C, you're going to you need to fulfill 3 C classes. One is an arts class, which is history of film, history of cinema, history of art, history of dance, history of theater, those kinds of classes. Those are called C1 requirements. C2 and C3 are humanities, and then the C3 is either or. It's either in arts or humanities. So you just have to complete 3 C's. Area D is a social science requirement. Now, there are 3 under this that you'll need to take. If you take psychology or sociology, then you've met the social science requirement. And then you're going to need a U.S. history class, and then you're going to need to take an American government class, which is a double whammy. It can fulfill 2 American institution requirements. So U.S. history will fulfill one of the the American institution requirement, but the American government will fulfill the U.S. Constitution and California government requirement. Every community college in California has one of these, and so I would encourage you to take that and get that one done. Try to do all your lower division GEs at the community college, because your load, your workload, your course load with us is going to be intense, and to add more classes concurrently is just a lot more stress. I just would say try to get as many of those done before you start, and that helps. Or even in between, when you have a break, like we do, you will have a semester break. Your semesters are no different than the ones on main campus, so we will have winter intersession classes, so those go really accelerated. You can try to get some of those lower division GEs done at that time while you're in the program. but do as much as you can before, because then it lessens your stress. For me, that's the most important piece. Try to lessen your stress because it's intense. All right, so I'm going to walk you through our articulation website. It's really more the California Community College System Schools. This is their website. You have access to this. It's like having academic advising at your hands on the web. I'm going to go into my browser right now, and I'm going to show you how to use this lovely tool. So when you're on here, say for instance, you're looking for that Bio 104 equivalent. How do I find it? So let's say you are starting at Mount San Jacinto College. I'm going to look up Mount San Jacinto College in here. Here we go. Here we go. So I'm a Mount San Jacinto College student. I want to find out what are the articulation agreements with Cal State San Marcos for kinesiology. So I go in here, look for San Marcos, and then I look View Agreements. Click that. Gives me 3 panels. I already answered this panel. Now I'm going to go to this panel. And then right here, it says View Agreement by Major. So now I'm going to go in here and I'm going to look for kinesiology. Where is it? Is it in here? There it is. Health Science option. Okay, so now it'll take me to the this third panel, and I just click View Agreement, and it's going to tell me what is equivalent to Bio 104. So I look on here, and Bio 104, this is San Marcos, this is MSJC. If I take Bio 100, then I have fulfilled Bio 104. Or if I decided I'm going to take micro instead, then I want to take micro Bio 125. Either one is the equivalent, and then you've met that requirement. If you're looking to take anatomy and physiology at the community college, so you don't have to take it with us, then you want to take these classes right here, Anatomy 101 and Anatomy 102. It says and, so it's not and or. You got to take the two together. That's going to be our equivalent to our Bio 177 and 178. Let's see. Chemistry. For those of you who want to just, take the chemistry at a community college at Mount San Jacinto, if you take Chem 107 at Mount San Jacinto College, then you have met our chemistry requirement, and that you don't have to take with us. So this can help you save some money. You will be asked to have some kind of first aid, CPR, but it's not required. You can certainly take that class, but you don't have to have it when you start, because we can tell you how to complete it without having to take the class, because there are certain first aid, AED classes that in the community where you get the certificate. It has to be from a very specific organization. You want to work with your advisor, Rosalinda, to figure that out. But if you take it, great. Then you've got one less to do. And you can see right here, Psych 100. You should take that as your social science anyways, because you'll need it. And then Intro to Kinesiology. If you take PE 195, then you've got it done. If you don't have that done, you could take it with us. By the way, I would encourage you, save money. Take it at a community college. All right, so now I'm going to go back to here, and now I'm going to take you on another search, and I'm going to walk you through as if I'm trying to look for a GE, because it's a different route on this assist.org. I'm going to go again. I'm going to try to pick another one. Let's say I go to Riverside City College. So I go to Riverside City College. I'm a student there, and I need to find out what A3 class can I take that'll be transferable to this program. So I put in Riverside City College, and then I go up, and when I look down here for transferable courses, go to the drag down menu and click CSU GE Breath certification courses, the second one on the list. Click it and then press the view transferability list. From here, now on here, click this menu and put in CSU GE Breath area and then click all. View the course list on the right, and this is your best tool on figuring out what's equivalent for all the A through E GEs for this particular community college. For Riverside City College, I need to take an oral communication. Looks like I got a lot of options right here. I could take COM 1, I could take COM 6, I can take COM 9, one of those, and then I would have fulfilled the A1 requirement. But I'm looking for a critical thinking class. I've got a few options right here. I've got COM 2, Introduction to Persuasion. I've got COM 3, Argumentation and Debate. I also have English 1B. Let's see what else. We have Philosophy 11, Critical Thinking. There's even a reading class. So that's how you want to navigate the assist.org to help you. And this is really helpful for anyone who's trying to navigate this on their own, especially right now with the COVID circumstances. You have to do a lot on your own. This is a great tool, honestly. And if you're interested in meeting with an advisor to help you figure out, I can certainly happy to answer questions about it and set up times to meet. But also, I would encourage you before apply to the program, because this is what you're going to get. I'm going to go back into my PowerPoint here and explain the rest. Okay. Program costs. Okay, so don't let this scare you. It's really, when you balance out the two different options, whether main campus or here, you're actually saving money by doing this, because you're saving time to get out there to the workforce. You're guaranteed your seat in every class. So that saves you time. So with that, you have already like a set graduation date after 5 semesters. Not the case if you're going to main campus and you're taking the class, because you're not guaranteed your class. You may be on a wait list for some of the classes that you need. And if they are only offered once a year, you may have to wait a whole year just to take it. So keep that in mind, because even if you transfer and you have all your GEs done and you have everything done, you may have to wait, another year just to take a class. So it's not really a guarantee you'll finish in 2 years. But with us, you will. Plus, you're saving money on gas and parking. And so this right here, this includes the student fees. It's $38,000. But that doesn't mean you have to pay it all at once. It means that you just have to pay per semester. Each unit is $449 a unit. Every student has to pay the mandated fees of $998. Even states, the main campus students, they all pay this $989. It's per semester, and it covers fees that, like associated students fees, student success fees, fees for the clerk, things like that. And you can opt into, like getting childcare or health insurance. You can opt out or opt in for that, but it's $989. And then the intent to enroll fee, that's not a separate fee in addition to what you pay. It's when you're admitted and you get the letter saying, congratulations, you've been admitted to kinesiology in Temecula. To hold your seat, they're going to ask you to submit an enrollment deposit of $150. That means that when you do that, you're paying for your seat to be reserved for that fall, like for this fall, say, for example. So that $150 goes towards your mandated fees. So minus $150 of your fall semester fees, and that's what your fees are going to be for that semester. So it's not in addition. It actually helps to pay that fee, those mandated fees. how do you apply? So the program is in the Cal State Apply website. When you apply, you're going to have to, create a username and a password, and you have to complete 4 quadrants of information. Make sure that on the second quadrant, when you're entering your educational history, that you itemize every class that you've taken with the units and the grade and the ones you project to take. Because what the system does is that it's counting how many units you have to give you the options of what programs you can be eligible for. So if you don't put anything down, the system thinks you're a freshman, and they're not going to show you our transfer program in Temecula because you need 60 transferable units to be eligible. So if you're like near, like you got 45 units, but you project to take, so many units in the summer or whatever, do put those projected classes and their units in, because then the system will then count and say, oh, this person's close to being a transfer student, for their eligibility, and then the system will show you the option for Temecula. After you've completed that application, and give yourself an hour for that, then you want to send official transcripts to the university. There's an address here. You want to send it to the Office of Admissions and Recruitment, and then you could put here underneath, you could put attention Kine, Kine, Temecula at the bottom, so that way they know that you're sending your transcripts for a specific program. And I would encourage you to try to submit electronic transcripts. They're a little faster to receive. Now, with the COVID-19 circumstances, we know that some universities and colleges don't have electronic transcripts, and so they're going to ask you to, maybe you can order online to have it sent, but if they don't have that function, we're trying to be more flexible with applicants so that so if you have tried everything to get an official transcript, you've had to have tried, you can submit unofficial transcripts. Yes, I did say that. Unofficial transcripts can be accepted if you've tried all other ways to access the transcript to submit, and if you have had problems trying to get through, then you can submit the unofficial. And I'm going to show you where to go. I'm going to just pop out, and I'm going to take you through how to find this information about our program. So here's the main campus website. You want to scroll down all the way to this blue ribbon right here, this blue banner, and click the CSUSM Temecula Campus link. And then when you get there, there's going to be information about our degrees. So you can either do one of two ways. You can click directly on here where it says kinesiology, click that, and it takes you directly to our Temecula program page, main page. Here it is. And as you can see, it has on the right-hand panel, the deadline for fall is May 20th. So you have lots of time. Oh, I thought it was May 8th. Now they moved it to May 20th. Woohoo, you got time. All right, so click this view right here, view application instructions. When you click on that, you're going to see that it gives you information about how to submit your application. So in the Cal State Apply website, they're going to ask you a bunch of questions. They actually help you on this page what to write. Since this is an undergrad program, you want to select undergrad. If you have a degree already and you're trying to do this as a second degree, then you want to say post-bac and then go that route. Now, don't worry about this. This is for graduate programs. You can start your application by saying Cal State San Marcos, Cal State San Marcos Extended Learning, and then this gives you all the information that you need to enter. Number 5 is really for specific graduate programs, so you can disregard that. You don't need a resume, you don't need a personal statement or letters of recommendation for our program. That's for grad programs, so you can just skip that. But then you can start looking at this. See how it says right here, we are temporarily accepting unofficial transcripts. Please visit our unofficial transcript website or webpage. When you click on that, it gives you the instructions on how to do that. Now, that doesn't mean you can still submit your unofficial, but before you start your program, you do need to go and get your officials sent in, and we'll work with you on that. We don't know what how long this COVID-19 is, quarantine is going to last, but we're working with our students to make it as flexible as possible. So if the quarantine ends early, then we can go outside, and then you can move to work on getting those transcripts a little faster, because then the universities are going to work a little faster. They have staff on campus then. But in the meantime, we will work with you. Rosalinda is awesome. She's a great advisor, so she can help you walk you through this. But this is where you can learn about how to submit unofficial transcripts. So going back and going back. All right. So this is the website, the main web page for our program. If you go down here, anything that I've presented today, you can find in the program details, like the admission requirements, how much does the program cost, and this is just the tuition only. So it's, keep in mind, what I showed you had the university fees, the semester fees. This one is showing just the tuition fees. So it tells you how much you're paying per semester, which is good, because then you know how much you need to have packaged for financial aid. So this is good to have. Other things that are in here, here's the course sequence. Here's your ed plan. This is what we tell you you're going to be taking. So you don't even have to worry about what you're taking. This is your plan right here. We tell you, here are your classes. Here are your CRN numbers. Self-register. And we do that like at least a month before you start each semester. So hopefully this is good information for you after my presentation. And if you have more questions, you can certainly reach out and ask Rosalinda, and she can walk you through, the application process, or even our student assistants can do that when you reach out to our Temecula campus. Now let's talk about financial aid. Once you've submit your transcripts, you want to apply for FAFSA if you're looking for financial aid. And we are financial aid eligible. So when you do apply for financial aid, you're actually applying for 3 pots of money. You're applying for the Pell Grant, you're applying for state grants, and you're applying for subsidized and unsubsidized Stafford loans. Out of all the loans that I've seen, and I have had to pull a Stafford loan for myself for undergrad and for grad school, and I gotta say, the Stafford loans are the best loans you can ever get, because they work with you. If you don't have a job after you graduate, all you got to do is stay in contact with the loan officer and say, look, I haven't found a job. Can I defer paying my loan? And they say, yeah. How long do you want? And so I need at least 6 months. And then I worked with them. And at one point, after I graduated, I couldn't find a job. Or I found a job, but it didn't pay very much. So I could call. I called. I took the initiative to call and say, look, I got a job that doesn't pay very much. I can only pay this much, or I can't pay at all. Can I defer a little bit more? As long as I kept my communication clear and I was transparent, they worked with me. And I can't tell you, that's the best kind of loan you can have, a Stafford loan. You won't have that kind of privilege if you have like a credit union loan, because you can access one of those, but you're going to have to pay those back right away. So I encourage you, don't shy away from a Stafford loan if you need it for this program, because they'll, you can work with them to pay it off later. Other things you can also access are scholarship opportunities like scholarships.com or fastweb.com. Those are great. Because those are free. But do not look into websites where they ask for a fee so they can search for scholarships for you. Those are scams. Please don't look at those. Look for the ones, the access points that are free for scholarship opportunities. For military benefits, for those of you who do have military benefits, we accept most of them. We only have one exception. We cannot. Our program is not eligible for CalVet. CalVet funding. So if you have CalVet, I'm sorry, it cannot be applied to our program. But if you have Chapter 31, Chapter 33, other military, funding benefits, then use those because they are approvable for our program. So here's a recap. So with us, here's where you want to do. You want to look, review and see. Apply first. Definitely apply. Complete all your admission requirements. So that's the Golden 4 and the equivalent of our Bio 104. Complete the application, submit all the transcripts, and then when you do that, when all the transcripts are in, then your file is considered complete. That's when Rosalinda will look at your file, and she will process it, and she'll review all your transcripts and evaluate you, and she will email you, and she will send you a PDF of what we've accepted. And it'll also tell you what GEs, lower division GEs, the ones from A to E, she will let you know what we've accepted and ones that you still need to take. And that's a really good roadmap to, to help you, figure out like what else can you take. Maybe you're short of units. And also, I want to also stress, because of this time with the COVID-19 circumstance and people doing things remotely right now, and it's hard to, everybody's having to stay in. The CSU system, our program has been opening like more flexibility on the admissions part. So if you're near completion of your A1, maybe you're missing the oral communication, maybe you're missing critical thinking, still apply, because we will work with you. You could be conditionally admitted if you don't